So now we're rolling. So
Okay.
now, so do as you like.
Okay. I'd like to show today one of my art journals, and this is a representative sample of what I'm going to be talking about. Let's see if I can, yeah, that's probably the better way. I had a show called The Landscapes of the Mind. This was some time back, and in North Beach, as a matter of fact.
1986.
And it was very well received. And from that, I wanted to show, from that time period, I wanted to show what I was doing.
Ooh.
This is Harry. Harry comes to me in dreams a lot, and he's always smiling like a little bit howdy-doody.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Looks
Yeah,
like
that
very
image
much.
of the smile really gets to me. And he's got broad face.
It's a
you know.
rictus grin, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I also like the idea of being a boat at sea and being bounced around on the waves. This was actually a big seller. I sold several of these.
What materials did you use for these?
These are acrylic and printer's ink. Printer's ink.
And this one?
That one is.
It's like some pastel.
It looks like, yes, some pastel and again acrylic as well. I like mixed media very much. We don't have to go through all of these, but I do want to mention this article, which is pretty funny, about me.
Whoa.
And one of my seminal pieces is this cat, who has a lot of interesting parts to him and found objects in him, including me. I'm in there somewhere. So this was one of my favorites. It sold for 500 to a friend, and eventually, about 20 years later, I went to her and I said, Louisa, I've got to have the cat back. She says, oh, why? I said, well, I just need it. It's just a seminal work. I miss it. So she gave it back to me. I offered to buy it, and she said, no, I want you to have it. So that, and yeah, this is just a story about,
Wow.
there I am doing my art thing. And let's see, moving right along.
Is the article about is the article about the I just read the sort of the subheadline.
Uh-huh.
Is it about your cancer treatment? It said a brush with death.
It's talking about what I do with my life. Yes, sort of recovering and getting involved in my art and how the art was curative, those kinds of things.
I love these.
Yeah, the penguins also.
Those are really cool.
What are, this is the
Well,
marking on the...
well, no, to me it's their soul.
Oh, I was thinking at first it was something interior, and then I
Yeah,
thought it might be the coat.
it's looking
but...
into the penguin, but it could also be an exterior thing. This guy is he's actually a famous Mayan, a little creature that I decided needed to be repurposed, recolored.
Really beautiful.
Thank you. And then the bird is another important image of mine. I call him, well, Red Raven hunts at night. And again, this eye is the soul.
Huh.
The soul of the bird.
This eye.
Yeah.
Can you describe it?
In a bird, I see the soul as being something circular and spinning. So when I did the eye, I thought, well, perhaps I can illustrate the movement a little bit. I don't know that everyone sees that, but that was my intent.
What about the soul of the penguins?
The soul of the penguin, taking a look back at that for a minute. Whoops. Yeah, there he is. The idea of penguins, I always wanted to hold one. I've never had a chance to hold it, but I think it would be really fun. And I like the tuxedo that they wear. And maybe you've seen pictures of them migrating. One time a year, they go far, far away. The men go
There was a
out.
documentary they made, the March of the Penguins movie.
They go far, far away to get food, and the women stay at home on top of the eggs, doing their nursing business. And they come back, and there's a slew of female penguins, and they know where their mates are.
Which one? Yeah.
Yeah, they know the mate.
Yeah.
So that's pretty. So I thought that they would have a very warm soul and a very loving soul. Moving right along. I like the idea of basketry and especially Mexican art. So that's my homage to that. Yeah. Sorry. I forget. Sorry. You know what? I'm going to do this just for a minute. I'm going to stand. Whoop.
That's great.
And then we can do this, and I can talk about that very briefly.
Perfect.
Wow.
This, I think, is a rug I would like to make or have made. I think it would be a fabulous rug. And it's if it existed, it'd make you very dizzy while you were walking.
What size?
What size?
Would you imagine?
A runner about 14 feet by 3. I envisioned it. And also, this is a rug I designed. The Persian rugs generally have more somber colors, darker colors. I would like to see more brightness in them.
I would like to have that rug.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
We'll commission it for you, my dear. Okay.
Maybe Leslie could make that with the new mosaic.
Well, you know, she's really gung-ho, and she's really learning. She's very excited about getting the stitch down. You'll have to chat with her about it. These are dogs and animals, dogs, horses, floating. Again, a rug. What a rug, huh? Yeah. This is a, can you read that there?
Boss.
Yeah, boss. I had a boss once who looked like this. He had a head that was very confusing and kind of a crummy body.
It's like kind of a wind-up key.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to do, to wind him up because he was really not very smart. So, anyway, that's boss.
Isn't it funny how the boss often is not the smartest person in the room?
Yeah.
What's with that?
Not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Who's the boss here?
What do you think of that?
Ooh, wow.
Isn't that nice? Yeah. Again, a tapestry.
Really cool.
A tapestry or a blanket.
Yeah, a blanket.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Gorgeous.
Even a scarf.
Yeah. But a big size.
Yeah. Voluminous.
Yeah.
A scarab beetle is sacred to King Tut. So this was in King Tut's tomb. So I did my variation of it. And then let's see if I have it. Does that reappear later?
Was this acrylic paint?
Again, acrylic. Yeah. High quality acrylic there from France.
I love the neon.
And here it is again.
Wow.
So this is the cowboy, the masked ranger, Lone Ranger. You know the Lone Ranger joke? The Lone Ranger and Tonto are out in the field riding, and up on the mountain they see many Indians, you know, in war paint and holding their spears, whatever. And Lone Ranger says to Tonto, it looks like we in heap big trouble. And Tonto looks at him, he says, "What you mean, white man?" Not politically correct. Right. But funny.
Political correctness is highly overrated, right?
And this is, again, the Balinese barong dancer. Yeah, I saw a dance on TV, and this guy had this fabulous outfit. Actually,
Amazing.
This is better than what he was wearing, really, but it's brighter. But I was inspired, and he had this wonderful mustache that went up the side of his face like this.
Not totally dissimilar.
Yeah. I like that concept.
And a straw hat?
Or
something? Or some kind of texture?
No, a regular cowboy hat with a variation with my painting, kind of like, to look like straw or...
Like that kind of material, I don't know, rattan, what do you call it?
Rattan, like a weave.
Yeah.
Are we doing good with, okay, I just almost finished here. Trinity is tempting. The idea, I've always liked the idea of having 3, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, in one person, you know. Well, that's the way it's supposed to be. And I like that idea.
Wow.
And again, that would make a stunning rug.
I love to see big.
Yeah,
on
big,
the wall.
big. Yeah. Well, one of my teachers, my Russian teacher, said, "Alex, this is incredible, but you got to work big."
Yeah.
So that's when I did the Taj Mahal. Yeah. Well, maybe that's it. Maybe that over there.
Oh, yeah.
People would be walking by. What the hell is that? Wow.
Like 4 of these.
Or take over that
Over
whole
there.
Yeah,
Fontana.
I think
Put
a
a piece of
large,
art
yeah.
in each window,
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
out.
Or on each little
Possibilities.
pillar.
Oh, the what?
Each.
Oh, yeah.
would-
Yeah, each
That
pillar,
would be
too.
cool. I've never seen that.
Yeah, no, that would really be something. Almost done. I want to
Oh,
show
good,
you.
yeah.
I want to show
Wow.
you. Yeah. The Peruvian mask.
mask.
Peruvians wear, not so much now, but when they did a lot of important religious festivals, they had really colorful masks. And so I incorporated, little gold pieces in there.
Nice. Wow.
And this is that raven that we saw earlier.
Oh yeah. Wow.
He's actually bigger than this in the actual final version. And when I was doing this, I was eating a banana. So there's the banana. And somebody said, well, why is he out in the moonlight? I said, no, it's not in the moonlight, it's my banana. So I think that might be, let's see. Oh, no.
How often do you find that, like, whatever you're up to at the moment sneaks into your artwork?
Yeah, very much so.
A lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or how I'm feeling,
Yeah.
too. Oh, a little bit higher. Sorry.
You're not in the camera frame
Oh, I'm
anymore.
not in the camera. Well, that's not good.
Can you move closer to the?
Yeah, that's not good. And this says, Dagmar. Dagmar was a North Beach stripper that I knew. And she had a really noticeably flat head. and so she would dance in the nude with her flat head.
Was that to help her get through doorways?
I don't know, but it struck me very, very odd. But she never saw that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask.
Well, she might be offended. I don't know. I mean,
She might love it.
It's not that square.
You don't have to tell her that you think she has a flat head. It can just be
Yeah, it's true.
just turned out that way.
Here's another variation. Again.
The expression on these.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
Kind of matter of fact.
They're different. Like they're quite different.
Yes. Yes. Let's see. This is a guy I want to get into more. I like the idea. He's kind of a variation on the Roman with the laurel leaves, the victorious Roman, but he's actually from New Zealand. Because when I was in New Zealand, Leslie was performing there, and I met some of the Maoris, and they're the local indigenous people, and the men wear beautiful local plants in their hair. Yeah, yeah. And I thought, wow, this is really great.
Yeah.
And some of them have, well, maybe it's because they're dancers, but they do put red lipstick on, which I thought was neat.
Nice.
So.
I was gonna ask if you met him on a cruise.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, Paulie. Paulie made it into a children's book.
Reaction.
Yeah, Paulie is one of my favorites too.
Oh, look at him.
And this is his soul.
Uh-huh.
But you know, now that I talk about this, nobody knows that I'm doing souls. That's just sort of, what I'm thinking when I'm working.
Yeah. Do you know what it'll look like?
Is this important to talk about, do you think?
Definitely. I mean, it's interesting, and I love to hear about it.
And then finally, the warrior shield. Again, I'm going to talk about tribal art in, I think, the next venue. And I'll get more into that, how important it is to me.
This would be a cool cape.
Yeah, sure. Or a t-shirt back.
Yeah, but this would be perfect.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah. Sure. I had a friend once, he's part of the animal farm. This is the goose. And the goose would do funny things. The goose would get righteously stoned, maybe like 2 joints by himself. And then I'd say, Goose, what's happening? He says, oh, I'm going to get some ice cream. So he'd jump out of the Filbert Street front window and scale down the fire escape. And be stoned as hell, running into North Beach looking for ice cream. He'd come back with like a huge container of ice cream, sit down and eat it by himself. Next night you'd go over, Goose, what's happening? He says, there's a roast in the oven. And he would eat almost the whole thing by himself, smoking all the time, eating and smoking. So the Goose was very righteous. And he went to jail for a time. And so I put chains on the frame to show.
Did he eat somebody?
Pardon?
Is that why he went to jail? Did he eat somebody? Maybe?
No, no.
Seems like he'd be the one to do it.
He was cantankerous to a fault. In other words, you might look at him wrong, and he'd get, "Hey, what's wrong? Why are you looking at me?" He was really a fireball.
Has he seen this?
He's never seen it.
He has not, no.
And I've lost touch with him. I'm hoping he's still alive, but he'd be
I
about.
wonder what he'd think of the chance.
Let's see, he'd be about 70. He was younger than me. Okay. Jim is his first name. Okay. And then finally, this is my alter ego. Oh yeah, we get this. Yeah. Are we getting all this? Yeah. Yeah.
You will know if I'm not getting that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
This is my alter ego,
are.
which I actually put myself into. So showing my, and the fact that I've always wanted to have antlers. And so, but that's not necessarily my soul, but in other words, I have that possibility in me.
Still smiling.
Yeah, still smiling.
Yeah,
always smiling. You're right about that.
Yeah,
You're right about
yeah.
The nose or the eyes? The soul?
Well,
Or
this is different. This is me with a persona, another persona. It's a little different. And then the growing cell, and this was my cancer. This was figuring out what cancer was about. So these are the bad guys, and these are the good guys. Encapsulating it.
Did you know what?
No, I didn't know from a scientific standpoint.
Yeah.
No, but later when I looked at, I had a chance to look at my cancer cells under a glass. There's a resemblance. These guys, they're viciously swirling. They're not supposed to be. They're abnormally shaped.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
So, and they're ferocious.
Yeah.
Unless you get the right intervention at the right time.
It's really oddly beautiful, also. Because when you talked about it before, I'd imagined I wouldn't find it so visually appealing.
Yeah.
But I think that's really attractive and nice to look
at.
at.
I do too. And again, a blanket, a cape, a rug.
As long as you don't hear the
over there.
backstory.
Yeah, right. You don't want the backstory. I love parrots, but they make some goddamn noise. It's constantly making a racket. So if we could maybe tranquilize them a little bit, they're absolutely gorgeous. And there's some near my place. The Pyramid Nights.
Wow.
Never having been to Egypt, but I've talked to a lot of people, and they say not only are you dwarfed by the pyramid, the enormity of the pyramid, but you're also aware of this vast expanse of sand that goes on forever, and the nights are so clear you can reach the stars. The clarity is so great in the desert, and of course the oasis.
I like the layers of the horizon line.
Oh, thank you.
This is the grand finale.
Now this was much later.
Yeah. And now is this you?
No. The elk apparently is endangered, and they're concerned in the state because the ranchers want to have their cows, but they're encroaching on elk territory.
Yeah.
And we're losing elks right and left because they don't have proper space for themselves. And they care more about the beef cattle because that's money. This is not money. So anyway, this is my homage to
beautiful.
And again, I like the idea of antlers. And they have massive antlers. I wish I could get a hold of some.
Why don't you make some for yourself?
Well, make some for myself. Yeah. What would I use?
Wood.
Wood.
Maybe paper mache. These are really stunningly fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you for showing them.
Thank you.
It's really cool stuff.
Thank you. Yeah. Go back.
Did you want to get any more shots of
finale or should we talk about it?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, I had a question for you actually.
Yeah, please.
When you talked about how if you're not sure if people are perceiving certain aspects, like when you said people don't know they're looking at the soul of the animal or whatever it is.
Right. Is that important?
Yeah, and how important is it to you for people to be aware of everything or well, not everything, but let's say the more important things that are present in the painting or informing them, and how much of it is, if it's good enough for you that you know that it's there and that it's how you feel about it, and how much freedom of interpretation do you like people to have with your stuff?
Good point. Good question. Yeah. By the way, are we hearing you?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Okay. All right. Well, we're not seeing you.
Maybe you want to.
This is what I meant about things to not ask me while we're recording.
Yeah, not
Thank
ask
you.
that.
Thank
okay,
you.
all right.
Yes.
It sounds crazy.
Just
okay.
check
I
it
take
if you're
that
listening.
back. Take that back. I like the question very much, and I think I understand it. Whether it's important or not for the viewer of my art to see what my intention was in having the souls of the animal as well as the exterior, no, because they may not be able to ever know that. But it's what I'm revealing as artist, and it's enough for me that they like the visual representation of that animal or that particular scene or whatever it is, that they find it moving, resonates with them, it excites them. And again, color is so important to me, very vital. And also, I want you to look closely at something. I want you to really look at it, because we often just assume things are the way they are. We don't really study them. So I think that's the intention of a lot of this. This is earlier work with some work that I'm now revisiting and saying, wait a minute, I want to show that animal 20 years later in my consciousness about what I've learned. So I'm reworking a lot of this. But I still find this very, very important.
Yes.
Very, very
It's really beautiful stuff to look at. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be easier to do this today than try to bring canvases and be worried about the elements and things and possible rain.
Yeah.
Whereas this is all contained, from the attorney.
Yeah. Do you want to tell that story?
Oh yeah. The quick little story here. The whole story?
Well,
yeah.
You decide.
Okay, you're right. Okay. Anyway, my wife and I years ago went to see an attorney about an issue, not germane to this particular story, but while in the office of this famous attorney, we were waiting in a waiting room for his presence, the Honorable so-and-so, and Leslie looked over at me. We were the only two in this big room with a large conference table, and she said, I smell something really bad. And I said, honey, don't you look at me. And with that, I got up, walked around the room, a very large room, and I happened to notice that there were, in one corner, 3 large piles of dog dew, and possibly fresh. And
was this on carpet? Now, was this on carpeting or
on carpeting?
On carpeting. That's
yeah.
I mean, I imagine linoleum.
Tile, no big deal.
Well, tile is one thing, but carpeting?
Yeah, on carpeting.
It's barbaric.
On carpeting. And I later find out that this particular attorney had 3 dogs that were precious to him. And he told a story in the newspaper about how at the end of a long day at court, he would come home. He was a single man, get into the bed with his 3 dogs and tell them about the day. And he said, those dogs understood me.
I wish they understood
really
carpet.
Understood me. And so I guess they had, a privilege to utilize the room as they saw fit.
It's the dog restroom.
Well, they're his harem, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. So
it's ghastly. What you're saying.
Anyway, we were really incensed by that, and then an underling came out to talk to us and said, hey, by the way, so-and-so can't see you. He reviewed your case. You don't really have a case. You can leave. Just like that. So we did, and as I left in the corridor, there was a wastebasket with what appeared to be a discarded attaché case, nothing in it.
No dog poop?
No dog poop. and kind of a little bit grimy, a little bit dusty. So
But it was a nice red zipper.
Yeah, with a nice red zipper, which I really liked. And it became a repository for the art that you just saw. Cleaned it up a bit, and as Lady Elizabeth has suggested, I may decorate it and raise it up a little bit from its humble beginnings.
Yes.
So that's the story. But I'd like to end with a funny story about how I got my wife a wedding ring. Because when we met and we finally romanced and were ready for engagement and plans of marriage, I didn't have enough cash. So
I have a question.
yeah.
Just about the art.
Oh yeah,
If I
sure.
could just-
Sure. Or could we go back to it?
Definitely, yeah. Let's go on with the story.
Only because we're in medias res, as they say, in the middle of the story. So I gathered up some cash. This is about maybe a year after the actual marriage ceremony, and I got her a 3-carat ring.
I bet she thought
One
it was worth the
lady,
wait.
one lady that I told this to, we were standing, and she actually knelt to the ground because she liked the story so much. So she says, "Where can I get a 3-carat ring?" I said, "Well, this is so precious, it means so much to our marriage. But you can get them in Chinatown."
Does it just
So-
honk if you squeeze it?
No, but it's
That's
but it's
really
quite
something.
lovely.
Wow. I love
Bugs Bunny might steal that if he found it.
Who?
Bugs Bunny might,
Bugs
might
Bunny,
have an
yes,
interest in
yes,
that.
That's right.
it. Very nice.
Anyway, now on the ship,
Yeah.
I tell a story, and Leslie is so pissed off when I pull this out of my pocket as we're getting ready to go to dinner.
Yeah.
She said, "No, we're not going to do that story again." So what I normally have her do is her hand is in her pocket, and then when I say, "Honey, show him a 3-carat ring," then she pulls her hand out, which I thought was even better.
Yeah.
But she doesn't like doing that. I'm tired of that stupid joke. Anyway, everyone's got a different sense of humor,
good. Yeah.
So.